my friends all over the world, wherever you are. William Poloniak here again from Whole Health Foundation. Today I'm making a juice that I'm calling a Father's Day special with red Swiss chard, curly leaf, kale, collard greens, and a number of other ingredients. Let's look at the other ingredients. In addition to my curly leaf kale and the collard greens and the red Swiss chard, I have one huge cucumber, one broccoli floret, one huge beet, about 80 grams of ginger, one whole garlic clove, and about 120 grams of turmeric, plus my favorite green, French sorrel, which not only cleanses every gland in your body, it sweetens up any juice. And of course, carrots. So let's start making juice. Now before I shred my vegetables, I want to point out that I'm using the near zero blowback cutter that has over 80 teeth cut into the cutter, and this enables you to not only shred your produce better, but 4 degrees centigrade cooler. So let's put it on the motor shaft. And I also want to point out that I'm using the front-loading feed tube. The front-loading feed tube has 2 advantages. Number one, you will never, and I mean never, get blowback up to your ceiling. And also you can see inside to see if your produce is shred or not. And loading from the front instead of pulling down is a very big advantage. I'm going to start by shredding my greens, and I'll begin with the red Swiss chard. My temperature is above 20. You can go as high as 35 or 40 without destroying your nutrients, but I like to keep it under 20. So now I'm down to 19. Let's put in a couple more ice cubes. Now for more cucumber. Now it's a very hot and humid day in sunny Southern California, so because I'm noticing the juice are running hot, I'm going to both put ice cubes in and shred 1 leaf at a time instead of 2 leaves on this collard greens. I'm done with my collards, so now I'm going to start feeding in the French sorrel. Remember, French sorrel not only sweetens up your juice, but it cleanses every gland in your body. One of the healthiest vegetables I know of. Put more ice cubes in because we're above 20 again. Here's the last of my French sorrel, and I'm going to follow that by 2 or 3 ice cubes to cool down the cutter and the feed tube. Now with carrots until they're done. Rotate the bowl. More carrots. Here's the last of my carrots. And one of the things that I love about this front-loading feed tube is you can see inside if there's anything not shredded. It looks like it's completely shred, but to be safe, I always put some pulp inside and push it through just in case there's a sliver of a carrot or something in there not shred. I find when mixing the produce that going in both directions is best. This is a very, very full container, so we want to be careful not to overflow it. Now that mix looks about right. Got all the greens mixed with the carrots. Next we're going to get the cloths out of the freezer. Now you always keep the cloths in a freezer in a plastic bag to prevent airborne contaminants and any bacteria from growing. So crack it on the edge of your counter as I'm doing here. Then peel them apart, and we're going to show you now my 6 cloth less work method. And we put 3 scoops into each cloth. Fold it in thirds just like they came in the package, like so. Make a little crease at the back to enable folding. pull it into a tight package, set it aside because we're going to press 2 cloths full of pulp at one time. 6 cloth less work method. When you're on your last cloth, advance that all the way. Now never throw away your pulp. And I'm going to show you now how to do that and why. So we got a nice tight package here. Here's my 6 cloth less work method. This goes forward, that goes over, the spent cloths go on top. 2 more cloths in the press. Film this from the back side so that the camera gets a good look. And notice I am leaving about 10% because I'm going to add filtered water. For me, this juice is very, very concentrated, and quite frankly, too concentrated. So we'll leave about 10% for water and continue making juice. I'm going to continue making juice. Put the tray on the press plate properly, turn it on. 2 more cloths full of pulp into the press, and this is very important again. Centered left to right, and centered front to back, all the way back it off a little bit. Notice my patties are very, very thick. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting 1 large scoop on each patty instead of 2, and pulling it into a very, very tight package. And folding it into as tight a package as I can make. This goes forward, this goes over. Oh, and we're overflowing. I'm going to put that back because we're overflowing here. What am I going to do? Let's catch this. Remember to keep your eye on the container. Alright, let's fill more bottles. Again, filling from the back so that the camera gets a good view of what I'm doing. And I'm leaving 10% for filtered water. You can fill it to the top if you want, it's up to you. I find the juice to be too rich. Centered front to back, adjust if need be, all the way back it off. Now we're not going to throw away this pulp. This is pulp that most people would throw away. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's damp around the edges. What I'm going to do now is put this into as tight a ball as I can with a special folding technique. Now, let's fold this under 2 or 3 or 4 times, as many times as you can. And we'll do that in both directions and do this to all of the spent pulp. Now, my friends, as you can see, we have 3 double packets of repackaged pulp. Now, this is pulp that the average person who has not seen my videos would throw away. I'm going to show you that you can get 10% or more juice, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on your produce. I'm going to take 2 packets. I'm going to use a measuring beaker to show how many ounces more we get. We'll put these 2 packets in the press. Make sure your tray's on the press plate properly. Put these 2 repackaged pulp cloths centered left to right. They have to be right in the center, all the way back it off a little bit. And while that's going on, I'm going to repackage these because I notice it's still damp around the edges. Now, from pressing the repackaged juice, I got 17 more ounces of juice here. And I've repackaged it a second time, but this is already full, so I'm going to pour it into the collection bowl. And let's see how much more juice we get by packaging it a second time. Yeah, 8 ounces, a little more than 8 ounces more juice. There we have droplets. Now, as you can see, I have 5, 10, 15 bottles of juice, plus enough for a taste test. And remember, at least 2 of these bottles, maybe 2 1/3 bottles, came from pressing the juice out of the already pressed cloths by repackaging it into a tight ball and pressing again. So we got approximately 10% more juice, and this is juice most people would throw away, and they throw it away because they don't know. Well, my friends, as you can see, we got 15 bottles of juice plus enough for a taste test. Let's do a taste and see what it tastes like. Oh, that's delicious. I can definitely taste the French sorrel, which always sweetens up a juice. Well, I hope you like what you've seen, my friends. And if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to call me for advice or to buy a juicer or supplies, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video.